Hey guys, JC Smith here again. I'm back on this electric. Want to make a couple notes here. Johnsy has commented that he didn't think this was right, or that in his area the inspectors would let that pass. Well, maybe there's a little bit of confusion here. This is a main breaker panel. This is not a sub panel. Now, if this was a sub panel, first off, this would not be here, because you would isolate the neutrals from the grounds. Which you see, this is a ground bar, and this is a ground bar. Now, in a main panel, you are actually taking this bar right here, bonds the cabinet to the neutrals. Okay, so that is it. It is grounded now, basically, and this is grounded. So it's all one circuit. In a sub panel, you wouldn't have that. So then these would be isolated, because your neutral comes in right here, which you can't see it, but that bar goes back behind here and around for this neutral bus and this neutral bus, if that's how you're going to use it. We're using it as a main panel, so that means our feed coming in, which will come in from the bottom, will have two hot legs. We'll have this one phase here, and a neutral. There won't be a ground. The ground will come off of here in a ground bar, and it's coming off of here only because that is the terminal I'm going to use. I have a sub panel going to get fed out of here with a 100 amp breaker. Okay, now when that sub panel comes off, it'll have a hot on one phase, a hot on another phase. It'll have a neutral, which will come to here, and it'll also have a ground, which will come to this ground bar. Now that'll be a 4 conductor going to a sub panel, but here this is 100% acceptable. If you used all of these in the circuits, I mean, you would be seriously overloaded. But a lot of times what happens is guys will put a lot of wires coming in, but it will terminate at one breaker. They will bring it in and splice together and put it on one breaker. So they'll just terminate like that. But anyhow, so I didn't want there to be any confusion. This is a main breaker panel, and this will be used as a main breaker. So like I said, this is 100% legal, right to code, legit, with the exception of this. I mean, like I said, this is temporary until we get the new feed in. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the wiring, the actual wiring itself. Now, when you're doing these branch circuits, I use 12 wire in here. Okay. Now, when you come to this, it has to be a GFI. A couple things to note here. Your circuit is only as good as your lowest rated piece. So say that this is a 20 amp GFI. Okay, if that was a 15 amp, then this is no longer adequate. That needs to be 15 amp. If this would have been 14, then this would need to be 15. The overcurrent protection needs to be 15. So you're only as good as your lowest rated link, or lowest rated piece, I should say. Now, I'm sure when I put this in, guys are going to say this is upside down. However, this was originally intended to be installed this way, and the reason being is if the plug is out just a little bit and something comes over, it hits the ground and the terminal first, giving it a chance to short circuit instead of laying across these two. That is the way I've understood that for years and years and years, and that's just how it is. So anyways, I'm going to get back on this. As you see, I'm using what's called an industrial raised cover. I like these better. I don't like using the gang ring. Let me see if I can show you one of these. I had some of these. They're actually called a plaster ring. Let's see if I've got one around here. They're basically for behind drywall. Okay. So the other option is you can do it this way. It's the same thing, bolts onto the 4-square. And what this is intended for, as you can see, it's about 1/2 inch. It's meant to go behind the drywall. Okay, and then you would put your devices, which apparently not going to stay there. I'll do it like this. So you would put that over the box. You can put your devices in, screw them in place, and put a regular plate over top of it. That's not the way I want to do it. That's more pieces, and the plastic will break. So this, I want to do like this. And then when I'm done, I will mark on here, Sharpie, what circuit this is. So this one is, let's see, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So that's going to be circuit 9. So on here, I'll put CK9. So I know exactly which one it is in the menu. And I'll do that with every box throughout the whole entire garage. I'll put circuit 1, circuit 2, whatever it is. Now this one's going to be this welder plug. So that's this. And that is a 2-pole 30. So here in my description I'll put welder plug, welder panel plug. That way I know what's what. So alright, I'm going to get back on this and get this finished up. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay guys, this is as far as I'm going on the electric for now. Now we got 4 good 20 amp circuits. These are 20 amp GFIs like I said before, and they're on 20 amp breakers here. So like I said before, I marked them circuit 9, circuit 11, circuit 10, circuit 12, and I marked them in here the same way. Left top panel GFI, you know, and so on and so forth, and then welder below panel. So that's what it is for now. Until I probably won't go any farther until we insulate the walls and put steel siding on. The plan is this summer to remove all the steel siding on the outside of this thing, remove the steel siding off the roof, put OSB, wrap the whole entire thing back in OSB, and put oh, hang on, look, coming there comes Brandon in the great all. I got a 250 or 275 gallon tote of water back in the pickup truck, and it won't slide on the bed liner. It's too hot. Got the bed liner all jacked up. I don't know if you can see that. It wouldn't pull. Anyway, so we need to take all this off, put OSB on, and then we're going to put new white steel siding on the bottom of these trusses. We'll run purlings. We're going to bookshelf in between the trusses themselves, and then put steel siding up, and we'll do blown-in insulation on top, and we will put OSB all on the outside walls, replace that sliding door with an overhead, replace this sliding door with an overhead, and then we'll start doing the walls in here and get going on the electric. I wish I'd done it before I got all this crap in here, because now it's just harder to move around, but a lot of the stuff you see around here, you know, we kind of put it in here as we did projects, and now it's a mess. We just don't have enough room, but it is what it is. We'll work with what we got. That's just how it works. I was getting ready to buy or build a new building down at the house, and then this property come up for sale, and you know, it is what it is, so I bought the property instead. But I still may build a new building just so I can have exactly what I want. But anyways, so that's where we're at on the electric. It's as done as it's going to be for now. So if I do anything else, I'll bring you along. But my tentative plan is to put steel siding. We're going to, again, bookshelf in between these posts here. Bookshelf means we're going to take a 2x6 and we're going to screw it to that 2x4 purling right there. And then we'll put R30 insulation in between it, and then we'll put steel siding on top of that going up and down. And then I'll come out of the panel with EMT, and I'll bring the EMT up the wall, to the ceiling, over to wherever we need to go, and drop back down to a plug. So it'll be a nice, neat, clean insulation. If I have to add something later, I can. It's not a big deal. This will all be recessed in the wall. I'll take 2x6 across here and down, and kind of box that in, and then the steel siding will, you know, go around that, and you know, it'll basically go box it in like this, so it'll be flush, and all that'll be recessed, so it won't stick out of the wall and won't be getting caught on it. That's why it's like that. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna call it on this one, and we'll see you on the next one.